Hi, I'm Phil Hood with Drum Magazine.
I'm Bob Bryer. I play in My Chemical Romance.
Bob, we want to talk about the new record because you've been in the studio this year and now you're mixing the record. Tell us how this is going to be different than what's come before.
It. We were just talking about this a second ago. We'll re-talk about it real quick. The original intention for this record was to not spend so much time in the studio and not to overthink things and not to take a week doing stuff like percussion or something. This record was supposed to be, we're going to knock this record out in a month and a half. We're going to record it, we're going to mix it, we're going to do it fast, and we're actually going to get on tour by September and really focus on having great live shows again. And
But that hasn't worked.
no, it seems like we've been in the studio for about 6 or 7 years now on this record. It's been about 10 months. We've just started mixing. The end result is going to be something that we're all very happy with. It just took a little bit longer. I think we realized that we're not the type of band that can just be okay with something. We have to think about it for a long time and then realize that we're okay with it or completely redo it. And we've had songs that we are really happy with that we've completely thrown in the garbage and started over with. So after a year to make the record, it will be something that we're happy with. It'll just take a little bit longer than we thought.
I think that makes a lot of sense because your band, it's not that the music is so complex, but the music is, it's produced, it's really thoughtful. It's not ever been something that you could say was thrown together in 20 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Especially on the last record, too. We wanted to try something that was different from just, punk rock, that kind of just fast playing. And Gerard got really meaningful with his lyrics and actually started to think about what he was saying and telling a story. And the band has always told this story through the process of the record. And that takes a long time to do. I think that's just who we are. And if it takes us an extra 6 months to make a record that we like, then that's who we are. And I guess we just embrace it this time. We finally figured that out.
So what are you playing of the Paragon line now?
Now we're doing hi-hats, sometimes back and forth with the ride and the China. And I had my favorite crashes in the world were Paragons, except they were a little bit heavy for my hand. So for right now, I've gone to a super thin cymbal. And then as soon as I build this back up, we're going back to Paragons and the crashes.
Because you're putting more effort into the crash.
Yeah, you definitely have to give it a little bit more juice to make it move, which I liked because I hate having a ding, like I like to feel like I'm hitting something and feel it come back in my arm.
Yeah. So you don't want all that recoil.
Mm.
So the Paragon ride though is a big heavy cymbal.
Yes, humongous, and it's 24 inches. So, 'cause I don't think 24 comes.
You're playing custom 24 and 22-inch crashes and 15-inch hats, all custom larger sizes, but
Yeah.
Custom.
Paragon.
Sweet.
So they're big.
Yes. Stanky is my friend, and he helped me out getting custom sizes. Thanks, buddy. So yeah, definitely they're just bigger and heavy, and I love the way they ring very well. They sustain for a long time. Yeah, I like them.
So I want to talk about cymbals. You use some Paragon cymbals in your setup, but let's go back to your development as a drummer and how your cymbal setup has grown over time. Do you remember your first cymbals?
My first cymbals were, well, it sounds like my first cymbals were actually cardboard boxes that we made in the basement of my mom's house. And then I went from there to the thing that, you know, I think every kid does, and I traded everything I have, and I went to Guitar Center because you can trade in gear for cymbals at Guitar Center, and I used to go to Guitar Center, and then all of a sudden I had like 40 cymbals and, you know, the whole like rototom thing and like just fucking like just shit everywhere, and then I started to realize as I got older, like I only hit like these 5, you know, like let's get rid of the rest, and ended up getting rid of the rest, and I only have exactly what I need. I still have a China, well, I got rid of the China cymbal. I had to bring it back for this band though, because there was some previous stuff. This China cymbal's kind of my enemy. I kind of hate it, but I have to use it. So I think that it's the cymbals and my drums. I've taken it, just stripped it down to only what I need, and you don't need to have, you know, 15, 20 cymbals. So.
Why do you hate Chinas?
I don't know. I've just always had a thing with Chinas. I think they're kind of silly. I don't know why. If it were my choice, I wouldn't use it. I have to play some stuff that's already from a long time previous recording where there's a China that's pretty important on there. So I've made myself use it. I've gotten comfortable with it. I didn't use it on the last record or the record before, but if I had to use it on a record, I'd be fine with it. There's actually only a few that I've actually kind of liked the way they sound. And this is the 19, which I've just switched to. We've made all my cymbals smaller and lighter because of my gimpy hand. And I used to use a 20. It's the same thing that I think rings across the whole line. Soft, loud, play it any way you want. You can hear it, and it sounds good either way. This one was, as I was playing, as the years went on, kind of the effect of a hoodie string a little bit. That's kind of what it's like a bunch of little strands that make one big thing. And my tendon in my ring finger was kind of slowly popping, fraying and fraying. And we hit a show. It was a show that we did for a DVD in this little club in New Jersey, and then the next day we played with Bon Jovi opening an arena, and so I didn't want to fuck that up. Sorry, I didn't want to screw that up. I wanted to be like on my game for this like Bon Jovi thing, right? So the night before, it pretty much went all the way, and I had one little strand hanging, and we hit the Bon Jovi shows, and it just went completely, and the tendon rolled into my elbow. Oh, you can see it. There's my little scar. Looks like a little Zorro. And they cut it at this weird angle so they could fit this like tool inside my arm, and I don't know. So anyway, now my sticks are about that big. I have to wrap them with a bunch of like basically the same thing, the tennis racket wrap from Prince. And my sticks are really big, and I have no grip anymore, and I'm back to playing though without as much pain as I used to have, so I'm way better.
So you were a hard hitter.
Yes, I think so. I don't know. I never thought like I looked like I hit hard. I just think I have this like natural snap towards the end that just from growing up, that's how I was taught. And I never think I'm hitting hard, but I'm always breaking stuff. So I guess so.
Yeah. And has the injury forced any changes? I mean, you've talked about the stick that you're using. Has it forced other changes in your style of playing? To be sort of a more healthy approach?
Yeah, I mean, I had to change the way I set up everything. I also, I'm trying to fake learn the Moeller method because I don't really know it. It seems like there's a whole, you still use your fingers a lot, but there's a lot less grip going on. And I'm really bad at gripping really hard when we play, and